Chosen one, there's always a sacred silence that arrives before something life-changing happens. It's the pause between what has been and what's about to unfold. Many people miss this moment because they're distracted, doubtful, or disconnected from their spirit. But yes, you're being awakened to something divine. The miracle that has been circling your life is no longer waiting in the shadows. It's descending now, carrying a vibration of purpose, alignment, and divine timing. The air around you feels charged, your emotions are heightened, and your discernment is sharper because heaven is signaling movement. But here's the truth, this miracle cannot operate without your conscious awareness. God's blessings are not random, they are precise. And right now you are being instructed to know, not just to wait. The spiritual realm is whispering directions through your intuition, dreams, and sudden moments of clarity. This is not coincidence, it's communication. The miracle requires your participation, your inner yes, and your full attention to the cues being placed before you. Before every major miracle in scripture or life, there comes a warning, a call to awareness. It's not a warning of danger, but of preparation. God warns his chosen not to scare them, but to position them correctly. Think about Noah before the flood, Joseph before the famine, or Mary before the birth of Jesus. Each was given a divine heads-up, a signal that destiny was about to collide with divine timing. You're standing in that same moment right now. The warning has come because the magnitude of what's arriving needs your readiness. The spiritual world, divine warnings are signs of favor. They mean heaven trusts you enough to give you time to align. The energy you've been feeling, restlessness, sensitivity, emotional highs and lows, are not random. They're spiritual notifications that something huge is shifting in your atmosphere. When God is about to release something monumental, he clears out old energies, relationships, and habits that can't hold the new blessing. This clearing may feel uncomfortable, but it's sacred preparation. Chosen one, don't mistake your current discomfort for punishment, it's positioning. God is making space for your miracle, and the warning is your confirmation that it's closer than ever. Miracles don't just happen by chance, they are drawn by alignment. Awareness is not passive, it's active faith. When you become conscious of divine timing, you step into the flow of what's already been written for you. Too many people pray for miracles but forget to tune into the spiritual signals that announce their arrival. You've been chosen to receive a specific kind of blessing, one that carries generational impact, and God won't allow it to manifest without your knowing. Your awareness is the code that unlocks the supernatural. Think of it as a spiritual handshake between heaven and earth. When you recognize divine movement and say yes, internally you create space for manifestation. You begin to see coincidences that are actually confirmations. The people who suddenly enter your life, the opportunities that appear at the right moment, none of this is random. It's heaven orchestrating your path in response to your awareness. So chosen one, stay alert. Don't just expect the miracle, recognize it when it arrives. Awareness is the seed that turns faith into reality. Heaven doesn't speak in noise. It speaks in patterns, feelings, and synchronicities. You might notice repeating numbers, hear a phrase multiple times, or feel a nudge to revisit an old dream or plan. These are not coincidences, they're divine notifications. God is signaling you that something sacred is approaching. The more you pay attention, the louder the signal becomes. You begin to notice how everything starts aligning effortlessly, doors open, confusion clears, and the impossible starts feeling possible again. However, many people overlook these heavenly signals because they expect fireworks. But divine communication often arrives in whispers. A calm thought, a persistent inner voice, a sudden peace after prayer, these are signs that heaven is working. Don't dismiss the small signs, they are the threads of your miracle weaving together in silence. The universe is communicating in frequencies only the aware can perceive. Chosen one, when heaven signals, your spirit must respond. Don't ignore what your intuition already knows. You are being called to trust your divine instincts now more than ever. Every great miracle requires spiritual readiness. It's like preparing the soil before the seed. Without readiness, even divine gifts can't take root. You've been in a season of pruning, releasing, and refining because God needed your spirit clear enough to receive what's next. The divine warning you're feeling is simply heaven saying, get ready, it's time. You can't enter a new dimension with old mindsets, and that's why your old patterns have been falling apart. Spiritual readiness means letting go of control and stepping into alignment. It's about trusting that even what didn't make sense was necessary preparation. Every delay, every disappointment, and every closed door was a part of your preparation process. The miracle can't fail, but your readiness determines how you receive it. The more aligned your energy, thoughts, and heart become, the more quickly manifestation follows. This is your time to rise in awareness, not anxiety. The miracle is already dispatched. Heaven just needs your spirit in position to catch it. Chosen one, every major shift is preceded by chaos. Before the Red Sea parted, there was panic. Before Jesus calmed the storm, there was fear. The turbulence you've been facing lately isn't punishment, it's prophecy in motion. The storm around you is an indicator that the spiritual atmosphere is rearranging itself to make way for something extraordinary. When the world shakes around you, it's heaven clearing out debris, emotional, relational, and spiritual blockages, so the new can arrive unobstructed. This is why it feels intense. You might be questioning why so many things are changing at once or why the people you trusted suddenly seem distant. But don't misunderstand the shaking, it's a divine construction zone. God is building something stable where instability once lived. The old must crumble before the new miracle can rise. Remember, the enemy often attacks hardest before your breakthrough because he knows the magnitude of what's about to unfold. The storm is not your ending, it's the sound of your new beginning taking shape. You've probably wondered, why is it taking so long? But chosen souls live by divine timing, not human calendars. What seems delayed is actually being perfected. There are divine alignments happening behind the scenes that your eyes cannot yet perceive. Every delay is heaven's protection, every pause is a recalibration. Think of Joseph, who spent years in places that looked nothing like his destiny, but those very moments were molding his readiness. When the miracle finally arrives, you'll understand why it couldn't come earlier. God's timing ensures that everything connected to your blessing is matured and in place, your mindset, your surroundings, and even your relationships. If the miracle had come when you wanted it, it might have crushed you under its weight, but now you're ready to carry it with grace. Every waiting season has built endurance, patience, and divine understanding within you. Don't resent the wait, rejoice in it, because when divine timing speaks, delay dies instantly. Faith isn't only for believing, it's for recognizing. Many miss their miracles not because they lack prayer, but because they lack perception. Faith sharpens your spiritual sight so you can identify divine opportunities disguised as ordinary events. Sometimes your miracle doesn't look like a blessing, it looks like an obstacle requiring obedience. Remember when Peter cast his net at Jesus' word? It didn't make sense, but faith recognized divine instruction even when logic protested. You're being invited into that same dimension of faith. God isn't asking you to strive harder, He's asking you to see clearer. Faith is your spiritual lens, it filters out fear and magnifies divine truth. The more you trust the unseen, the more visible the supernatural becomes. It's through faith that the veil between the natural and spiritual dissolves, revealing what has been waiting for your agreement all along. Chosen one, let your faith not just believe, let it see. Your miracle is already near. Faith helps you notice its presence. There's a voice inside you that doesn't shout, it whispers. It's that soft conviction that feels both gentle and powerful at the same time. The world calls it intuition, but the awakened spirit knows it as divine guidance. God often speaks through stillness, nudging you toward choices that align with His plan. Every time you feel that inward pull to move, release, or act, it's heaven communicating direction. Ignoring this inner voice delays destiny. When your spirit nudges you repeatedly, it's a sign that a decision must be made or a change must occur. The reason the warning is coming now is because the next miracle depends on your obedience to that whisper. You might not have the full picture, but obedience will unfold the rest of the map step by step. The miracle isn't locked away, it's waiting for your internal alignment with divine instruction. So listen closely, what your heart is whispering isn't random, it's revelation. Before God can hand you a miracle, He often tests your trust. It's easy to believe when everything looks promising, but true trust is proven when you can't see the outcome. Your faith is being refined like gold, through fire, through waiting, through uncertainty. These tests aren't designed to break you, they're meant to reveal how deeply you depend on divine truth over visible evidence. When things seem unclear or delayed, heaven is measuring your heart posture. Will you still trust the process even when the promise seems silent? Those moments of uncertainty are spiritual weight training, building the endurance needed for what's coming next. Every unanswered prayer, every delayed opportunity is shaping a trust that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Once that trust is solidified, the miracle manifests effortlessly because it now rests on an unbreakable foundation of faith. Chosen one, this test is not punishment, it's preparation. You're being trusted with what others couldn't handle. Chosen one, while you've been waiting and wondering, heaven has been working. The silence you felt was not absence, it was strategy. Behind the veil of your everyday life, spiritual forces have been rearranging people, opportunities, and even timelines to align perfectly with your divine purpose. You may not have seen the movement, but the delay was divine design. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean it's inactive. Imagine an artist painting in layers. Each stroke adds depth, even when the final image isn't yet visible. That's how God operates with your destiny. He's layering wisdom, strength, and clarity beneath the surface so that when the miracle appears, it stands on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Every unanswered prayer, every quiet season was heaven making sure the right resources and connections were in place. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was sacred construction. Chosen one, trust that even when you can't see movement, your miracle is still in motion. One of the hardest lessons for a chosen soul is surrender. Control feels safe because it gives the illusion of certainty, but miracles thrive only in surrendered spaces. When you release your grip on how things should happen, you open the door for how God wants them to happen. The divine plan is often unconventional. It unfolds in ways that don't fit logic but make perfect sense in hindsight. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It means you trust that what's meant for you cannot miss you and what's not meant for you cannot stay. The warning you're hearing now is a loving reminder. Stop wrestling with divine timing. You're not being asked to figure it all out, you're being asked to rest in faith. Your surrender activates divine flow, it invites supernatural order into chaos. Once you step aside, heaven steps in. Chosen one, your miracle doesn't need your control, it needs your cooperation. Not all disruptions are demonic, some are divine. When God wants to shift your life, He often starts by shaking your routine. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. The friendships that faded, the plans that failed, the doors that closed, they were divine interventions disguised as disappointment. If those things had worked out, they might have kept you from the very miracle now approaching. Divine disruption feels uncomfortable because it dismantles familiar comfort zones. Yet within that discomfort lies your breakthrough. The same God who allowed the storm also controls the sea. When everything around you seems to be breaking apart, it's often a sign that heaven is piecing together a higher alignment. Nothing has gone wrong, it's all going right in a higher order than you can yet perceive. Chosen one, stop mourning what left. It had to move so the miracle could find you. Miracles aren't just received, they're activated through obedience. Every time you take a step in faith, you partner with heaven's design. Remember the story of the Israelites at the Red Sea. They had to move forward before the waters parted. The miracle was waiting on their motion. The same is true for you. The divine instruction you've been sensing in your spirit is the key that will unlock what's next. God isn't asking for perfection, He's asking for participation. The moment you act on divine direction, the supernatural begins to cooperate with your faith. Don't wait for ideal conditions, move now, even if it's with trembling hands and uncertain steps. The energy of obedience carries spiritual authority that invites acceleration. When heaven sees motion, it multiplies momentum. Chosen one, your movement is the magnet for your miracle. Step forward, the path will appear. As your miracle draws near, distractions will multiply. Not every open door is divine, some are designed to derail your destiny. The enemy knows he can't stop your blessing, but he can attempt to deter it by sending counterfeit offers that look appealing yet lead away from alignment. That's why discernment is your shield right now. Before you accept any opportunity, relationship, or partnership, ask yourself, does this match what I've been praying for, or is it just a distraction in disguise? God's blessings carry peace, not confusion. If something feels forced, rushed, or heavy, it's likely not from Him. The divine path may challenge you, but it won't drain your spirit. This is your moment to listen carefully to your intuition. Your spirit will always recognize what's real. Counterfeits may shine temporarily, but they can never outlast divine authenticity. Chosen one, guard your peace. It's the compass that leads you straight to your true miracle. Chosen one, the reason this season feels heavy is because what's coming carries weight. You're not just stepping into a blessing, you're stepping into responsibility. Every miracle carries a purpose far greater than personal comfort. You've been chosen not only to receive, but to steward what others will benefit from. That's why you felt the pressure increasing. Heaven doesn't trust lightweights with heavy mantles. The waiting, the warfare, the inner stretching, it was all to prepare you to carry the magnitude of your next. You might not realize it, but your capacity has expanded. You've been built for impact. What used to overwhelm you now barely shakes you because your spirit has matured. God has been strengthening your patience, sharpening your vision, and anchoring your heart. The miracle you're about to receive will not just bless your life, it will ripple across generations connected to you. It's divine legacy in motion. Chosen one, the weight you're carrying is proof of the greatness you're birthing. Hold on, it's almost time to deliver. Even in seasons of divine alignment, doubt tries to creep back in. The enemy loves to whisper lies when you're closest to your breakthrough. He'll remind you of your failures, your flaws, and your fears to make you question if you're truly ready. But remember this, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. The doubts you're feeling are not confirmation of weakness. They're signs that your mind is being rewired to hold faith over fear. When doubt rises, declare what you know instead of what you feel. Speak life into your own spirit. Remind yourself of every time you thought it was over but still made it through. You've survived storms that should have drowned you. You've healed from wounds that should have destroyed you. That's not luck, that's divine preservation. The same power that kept you then will sustain you now. Chosen one, doubt is the final test before divine manifestation. Stand firm, it's proof that your miracle is minutes away. There comes a moment when heaven and earth synchronize, and that moment is now approaching for you. Everything you've prayed for, cried for, and waited on is aligning with precision. The spiritual realm has already approved it, now the physical realm is catching up. This is why you've been sensing a shift in the atmosphere, a calm before the release. Angels have been dispatched, energy has been rerouted, and divine order is locking into place. When alignment happens, resistance loses power. The same situations that once blocked you suddenly begin to open. People who doubted you start to recognize your value. Doors that were sealed shut swing wide because it's no longer about effort, it's about timing. Heaven is matching your obedience with opportunity. Everything you've lost is about to be restored in multiplied form. Chosen one, the alignment is happening now. Don't doubt it, discern it. Stay ready because heaven and earth are finally agreeing on your elevation. We've come full circle back to the essence of this message. It won't work without your knowing. Your awareness is the final activation. Miracles don't manifest through wishful thinking. They respond to awakened souls who recognize divine timing when it arrives. Awareness is what turns spiritual potential into visible reality. When you become conscious of what God is doing, you magnetize it faster into your world. The reason this warning came to you now is because the window for manifestation is open. Heaven has already released the blessing, but your awareness is the switch that turns it on. Recognize the patterns. Notice the coincidences that aren't coincidences. Trust that inner pull to prepare, to speak, to act. You are being invited to cooperate with the divine plan, not later, but now. Chosen one, your knowing completes the miracle. Open your eyes, heaven's promise is standing right before you. Chosen one, this is your divine moment. The warning wasn't to scare you, it was to awaken you. You are standing at the threshold of something monumental. The air is heavy with destiny. The silence before the breakthrough is vibrating with divine intention. This is your moment to rise in awareness, to shake off fear, and to boldly say, I am ready. The miracle that's been circling your life is now descending. Don't miss it this time. Recognize it, receive it, and rise with it. Everything you've endured, every tear you've cried, every delay you've faced, it's all been leading to this divine convergence. Heaven's hand is upon you. The universe is aligning in your favor. You've passed the tests, survived the pruning, and now it's time to bloom. You are the evidence that divine delay is never denial. The warning was your invitation. The miracle is your confirmation. Chosen one, if this message resonated with your spirit, let it be your declaration moment. Drop a glowing star in the comments and say, I'm ready for my miracle. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Anointed Era, and share this message with someone whose spirit needs awakening. Your awareness has unlocked something today. Walk in it boldly. Your miracle is already here.